All right, guys, give me a second here. We're live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook. Let's go. All right, guys. So, what's up, everybody? It's been a while since I did a podcast recording, but I've gotten my systems in order and it's time to rock it. So, this is the Change for Good podcast, guys. What we're going to talk about today is how we can assess your readiness for change, right? So, it's New Year's resolutions, right? And a lot of people feel discouraged when it comes to New Year's resolutions as to like whether it be being judgment by your peers, whether it be like, just shame and doubt. Actually, some people feel like they can't actually achieve some of their goals. And a lot of people, how do I say this? Um, a lot of people feel as if they like change kind of puts them in a compromising position to where they don't feel authentic with their authentic self. And it's not like change is not some bad thing that you just have to overcome or that you just set out to do in order to change your environment, but that could help. But what I'm here for is I want to talk about when you make the decision, decides to change your health, right? So in my program, I call it the Change for Good, right? And it's just a 4-step process that will help you find a system that you can create to create sustainable change for good. That's what the whole Change for Good thing. Now, the 4-step process is simple. It's awareness, acknowledgement, execution, and consistency. So now, if you look at, let's see, well, I got some notes here. So if you look at the trans theoretical model of behavior change, right? There's pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, right? There's preparation, action, and then the maintenance stage. Now that's just normal behavior analysis psychology, guys. The 4th step, the Change for Good, is just my own personal branding on it. But however, it is very effective when it comes to making change. So the pre-contemplation and the contemplation stage is simply just deciding that it's the talk that you have in your head, right? You go to the park, you play with your kids, and then you realize that you're long-winded. You bend over to tie your shoes, and you're grunting to bend down to pick up your shoes. You have a lot of house chores, and you have low energy. There's tons of things that we have what do they call it? The red flags that we need to get our health in order. Now, it could be just like lethargy, constantly binge watching Netflix. I know that's controversial because a lot of people obsess over the ability to binge watch Netflix. But honestly, you do have to enjoy your life. This isn't about being overly seriously. I want you to improve the quality of your life so that you can actually enjoy your life. You can go on vacation. You have no limitations on the things that you can do, and life is meant to be enjoyed. But also when it comes down to longevity, a lot of people have a jaded view on how long they expect to live, right? So life expectancy is one of the most important things that I think that you should use when prioritizing your health. Now, the reason why I say that is because we don't know when we're going to go, right? But the only thing we can do is increase the quality of the life that we currently have right now at the moment. Now, when it comes to that, you have to start taking inventory and start looking at yourself from within and find the things out that you want to change physically about yourself. And a lot of people get caught up into the superficial side of exercise where they want a flat stomach, bigger arms, big chest. They want to look sexy. But you could look great on the outside and there could be a storm brewing on the inside. Think of people who look normally healthy, right? Even if you take like steroid usage, for instance, like that wreaks havoc on your internal organs, right? So you can look very, very, very fit, and then inside you'll be nearly dead. And a lot of people who struggle with the identity of realizing they need to be in better shape, they will hide behind that statement as if see, that's why like I don't even care about my 6-pack or anything like that. Because the whole process of wanting to have actual change is that You have to start wanting things for yourself for legitimate reasons. Now, you could be like, there could be this wedding coming up. There could be you being a bridesmaid in the wedding. It could be you in the wedding. It could be you're going on vacation and you want to take a bunch of pictures in a bikini and you don't want to feel insecure. You just had a kid and you're trying to get back into shape and you want to look like you did when you were 20. And I'll go into that later. But you got to start being realistic about, you got to give yourself a long-term goal that you can stick with, that you'll be able to like keep it sustainable for the foreseeable future. Now, let's get back to pre-contemplation and awareness, right? So the awareness is you already know when it's time to change something, right? If you're like, let's say, let's put it in finances, right? And then and this is why I say that you can apply this to anything. You have the awareness. You know that when you go to work and every 2 weeks and you get that paycheck and it's gone due to bills, you are aware that something is not working for you. Now, I'm not running for president. I'm not running for political office. And I'm not here to lecture people on their personal finances. The only thing I'm saying is that you are aware of it. The real most important key factor is you have to decide, how much do you actually care that you're struggling, right? How much do you actually care that you're overweight? How much do you care about the actual inflammation that's in your body? And it's okay to not care. And then because I have a joke that I say that if you don't care, I don't want to hear you cry about it. So if you already know it's a problem and you choose not to do anything about it, that doesn't make me less of a person, because I don't want to hear you cry about it all the time. Because I believe that everybody, we have a chip in a chair in life, and then we can make changes in life as long as we start moving in that direction instead of just moaning about how difficult it's going to be. So now when it comes to the awareness and the negative self-chatter that you talk to yourself is like, I put on some extra pounds. You know that you don't want to wear that swimsuit without a shirt over it. And I'm not saying that you should make your health goals about visual aesthetics. I'm saying that this is the awareness signs that you may need to get into better health. And you don't just use visual. You need to start investing in your health also. You need to start looking into a primary care physician or somewhere where you can get the resources in order to pay to actually know what's going on in your health. You hear all the time of these celebrities that are dying at very young ages, right? Because it's not just about money. It's about people who just don't go. Like, people just don't invest. It's just like people just don't save money. People just don't pay attention to things. And that's why awareness is one of the most important things that you should want to learn and live about when you're in there. So anyhow, after you have the awareness, right, you decided that you want to get into shape. And one of the biggest things that you need to focus on is your why, right? Why do you want to get into shape, right? And so now when you come into the why, this is still in the awareness stage of this, right? So now that you identify that you want to make a change, why do you actually want to do it? And you have to start talking to yourself like you're a toddler or an infant, and you continuously just want to keep on asking yourself, why? So why do you want to get in shape? Well, I got this wedding coming up. And then it's like, okay, so why do you want to get in shape for the wedding? Because I want to look great in this dress. Well, why do you want to look great in this dress? Because I want people to think that I look attractive, and it may not even be that. It's like everybody has their own reasoning. And then no matter how crazy you think the world is, you have the right to your own view of your own self. And the best thing, that's why they say it's you versus you. The best thing that you can do is change the perception of yourself and not worry about what other people think. And I know that's easier said than done, but first you got to start with a healthy relationship with yourself. And now, once you start getting really, really, really clear about why you're going on this journey, right? So now let's say, now you already know your why. Your why is going to be because you want people to view you as a healthy person because you feel like you're not physically fit. So the reason why is you feel like that. It's not what other people think about it. It's how you feel about yourself. So now that we identified that it's really that I want to feel better about myself, now you have to start working on changing your identity of the person that you think that you are, right? So that is actually much easier than changing someone's view of you. It's more easier to have a comfortable relationship with yourself than it is to convince others that you are the person that you think that you are. Because once you operate in that place, you'll be able to make the moves that you're able to make with conviction because you believe it. So now let's go right on to acknowledgement, right? Acknowledgement is along the lines with accountability, right? So now you've already identified what your why is, right? And why you want to do this. So the whole point of all of this is now we have to start building a plan, a system around our health that we want to improve it. So now you have to get clarity, right? You have to get clarity on what is it specifically about your health. Now, this may still be an awareness, but now we're starting to build and develop the plan. We are acknowledging the thing that we are aware of, right? So now that we have the why, and we're starting to formulate a plan, how can we get to point A to point B? Now, that's what we're really trying to accomplish here. It's like we're trying to go from A to B, right? Or A to Z, right? Because if we're talking long term, we're really trying to get from the beginning into the end, right? So now, and you can't go from A to Z by skipping over all those letters. So acknowledgement is start putting in the B, the C, the D, the E, the F, the G. So now that we're acknowledging, we start formulating a plan. How can we get to it? Well, so let's say you want to lose 30 pounds, right? We're aware. So you got a wedding coming up. You're going to lose 30 pounds. Now, realistically, you may not lose 30 pounds, but now you have to start telling yourself that would you be more comfortable in that bikini if you were 10 pounds lighter? Would you be more confident in it if you felt like you were in better shape? If you knew that even though I'm on vacation, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna go to this gym and do a 20, 30-minute workout because this is the lifestyle that I live and I am a healthy person. Not that I have to work out. It's you have to start talking to yourself as you are the new healthy person that has the confidence that I look great because I'm in good health and I'm doing the best I can. Now, it's not about what you look like, it's how you feel. That's actually what your health is all about. Your health is about how you feel and not what you look like. So now, when you start coming up with more acknowledgement and more reasons and things why you decide that you want to be the the most in shape person that you ever been. Now, when we have our plan together, right? So now you start thinking about how many days, like this is something real. So if you're somebody who wants to start a fitness regimen, this is the nuts and bolts and the premise of where you should start and begin. You have your why, right? You're acknowledging it and you're building the plan. How do you get from A to Z, right? So first you have to consider is do you have the time to work out a minimum of 3 days a week, right? Because a healthy person, so there's like active, sedentary, and then like overly active people, right? And then so the thing is once you decide that you're making this transformation, it's 3 days a week is the starting point, right? And what I really like to say is instead of focusing on 3 days a week, what you really need to start on is acknowledging how little you actually exercise. Now, there's sometimes you can actually see marginal, sometimes major health gains just by making the decision to physically move more than you actually did. That could be things like walking into the grocery store instead of waiting and trying to find the closest parking spot, just park out the back, walk all the way into the store, walk all the way back out. Increase your steps, right? So now the average person walks around 3 to 4,000 steps a day, right? In America. And to be considered an active person, you have to walk 10,000 steps. So now we have to start building the plan. Like, don't just focus on the steps. It's not about just lifting heavy weights, getting into shape. We're talking about you're trying to be a more active person because a more active person is in better health, right? And a quick sidebar here. And I have a lot of friends who do manual labor, construction work, and trade skill jobs, right? And they consider that work, right? But what you need to do outside of your work is you need to start doing exercises that promotes the kind of activity that you're doing at work. So let's say like if you're bending down, picking stuff up, and the thing is you can't work until failure because you still have to work, but you just have to do like moderate exercises that is increasing the stability of the frame of your body. So that's something that you want to focus on. So now that we're acknowledging that we want to lose these 30 pounds, right? And that was the in on that sidebar. And so now that we're acknowledging that we have the 30 pounds that we're trying to lose, the next thing that we need to focus on, right, is how can I get these 3 days a week in? So now you have to start planning your entire life, right? And everyone thinks that's crazy, right? And it's just like if you ever go and see a financial advisor, right, which I strongly recommend to everyone, even if you believe that you can't afford it, a consultation costs you nothing most of the time. But once you start actually looking at your finances, it opens up your mind to see a bunch of different things. So now what you have to do is start using that calendar that's in your cell phone. The number one thing that will increase your activity is use your cell phone for other things other than social media, unless you're a content creator, you're someone who's trying to generate leads and things like that. But there's still ways around that as well. For my entrepreneurs out there, there's still a way that you can actually find the time. And now this is going to be based around people considering that they don't have the time and or they don't have the energy. Sorry about that, I hit the mic. So we're going to address the time thing now. So you look at your schedule. We got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and etc. all the way back around to Sunday. So start looking at your week to find out what days can you work out 3 days a week, right? So once you start figuring out what days you can work out 3 days a week, that's going to open up the doors for everything else that you have an opportunity for, because we still have not talked about diet and what you should be eating, right? And we still haven't talked about hydration, which is also important, sleep, which is also very, very important to recovery for exercise. And if you're somebody who's addicted to caffeine, and I'm not saying cut out caffeine or anything like that, but you need to start regulating your intake on things. See, the reason why we spiral out of control with our weight is because our lack of inventory of the things that we eat. A lot of people don't like food journaling, but I'm telling you, it is proven to be very, very effective, because it's just like when you're spending money. Once you get to see the money leaving out of your hand, you would start to see all of the things that are consuming your income. So now we're going to find all the things that are being calories put into your body that is causing the weight gain. Is it a lack of activity? Is it too much eating? Is it poor sleep? Is it stress overall? See, there's a number of things that goes into weight loss and stress. And then once you start exercising regularly, you will find out that your entire quality of life would start to improve, only because it regulates so much different things. The expenditure of energy will help you fall asleep at night, to get into a proper sleep routine. And that's why when we're looking at our schedule, you have to see, what time do you go to work? What time are you consistently eating dinner, lunch, snacking, drinking water? When are your meetings? When do you have to go run errands, which is important? Like all of those things you need to know. And you need to set specific times for you to do it, because now you're creating a lifestyle that's a system. Like everything's a system. Like one of the things that if you read one of Amazon's, Jeff Bezos, if you read his book, I forgot the name of it, and because I read a lot of books, but he was talking about how the thing that makes Amazon successful is their systems, right? And so let's say that when you go to buy something, right, it prompts you on, are you sure that you want this? And people also bought this. Do you think you may need this, right? So then you put it in. Then it asks you if you want an insurance or warranty on it. Do you want to apply for the credit card, right? If you're not a Prime member, did you know that you can get free shipping on this today? Did you save this much? All of those prompts are part of a system that gets you into, to funnel, generate more money for you, and to make the overall customer experience happier. It's money at the end of the day, but it's for the overall satisfaction of the customer. So now next, what you need to focus on is when you have the scheduling out, right? So what time do you go to work? What time do you go to bed? And start asking yourself, what is it? What is your standards? How much sleep do you need? Where do you like, where do you eat at? How much do you eat out? What do you eat that is similar every day, and how can you make that easier? There's tons of different things that you can start doing in order to realize all of the things that it could be to help you out. So now that we acknowledged it and we start building our system and we're going to work out 3 days a week and we've decided our sleep schedule, we're going to decide if we can hire someone, because if you don't know how to exercise, you're going to have to hire someone to show you how. And what videos should you watch, right? So now this is a really, really, really important thing when it comes to health and fitness that a lot of people don't ever realize, right? It's because we're so stuck in the superficial world that we don't focus on the little things like your flexibility, your mobility, and these things are important because these are the things that are going to prevent injuries, because you can't get results on the sideline. You need to have mobility. You need to have stability. You need to have flexibility, right? You need to have those things, because when you start getting crazy, like, and especially if you guys follow some of these Instagram influencers and YouTube guys and things like that, even though I'm like, this is on YouTube, but when you see them doing crazy stunts, that's for your attention, right? And I get it. I get the human psychology of it, right? It's pretty fucking amazing to watch a guy do squats on a skateboard with 185 pounds on the rack, and he has a sofa balancing on his head. Like, I get that. But realistically, if you're not in shape, do you think you can do that, right? And then the other difference is you're going to see a lot of people who can produce results, but some people have compromised situations. Like, if you're not someone who's ever worked out, I can't go and crank out 3 reps at 40 pounds. Like, and then you can, but once you get one injury and you don't have the slow and steady, in Arnold Schwarzenegger's book, he always talks about slow and steady wins the race, right? And then, so if you don't have the steady growth at a sustainable rate, the minute that you're met with an opposing force, like an energy, it kills it. And that's the last thing that you want. The last thing that you want. So now you decide that if you want to outsource the job, we're going to outsource the job. We're going to find a trainer. We need to focus on, maybe you can do some weight training 3 days a week, right? Then sign up for a yoga class at your local community center. You could sign up for my platform. I got Pilates exercises. I have a friend of mine who does yoga on my platform. And there's tons of resources out there. You can go on YouTube, find a workout on YouTube. And here's the hack. Here's the hack for free workouts on the internet, right? If you're somebody who doesn't work out all the time, you need to stick with one workout, perfect it 3 days a week, right? Then the next week, add one more exercise into that, right? And this is for sustainable. Like, some people, like, they lie to themselves and say how bored they are and how bored they get. But one of the things you need to focus on is one exercise. Pick one video that you like and get so good at it that you see results, right? If it says 10 reps on pull-ups, right? Do that same workout until you get 10 reps. Then start doing exercises that increase your repetition, and then skip. You don't have to max it out. Do as many as you can. Go on to the next. Stick with that one, right? Do it for an entire week, 3 times. I recommend doing it for a month. Give that one video 12 workouts. One video 12 times, guaranteed results. That's the hack. That's the hack. And make sure you go slow. Don't overdo the weights. And no, nobody's going to build a chest in 30 days without doing some tests. No one's going to get big biceps over in 30 days. None of that. None of that's true. You'll start seeing some results in 30 days, 60 days. But The real sustainable, like if you go slow and low and grow, I promise you it'll work. So now we already have awareness, we have the acknowledgement, we have the systems. We decided that we're going to just do internet videos, right? We're going to work out from home because realistically, we don't have the time to go to the gym. And that's something that people don't realize. The commute to the gym is absolutely the biggest time killer, right? To go there, go back. And then don't forget about the social anxiety of trying to do a workout, waiting on people. Like me personally, the reason why I don't like to go into the gym is because I don't like waiting. I don't have time to sit there and wait for this special rack and weight. I have my routine. I have the things, the exercises that I like to do, and I do them at home. I also have 3 kids, right? And then I like being home with them. And also I like them watching me and my wife work out. Like, I like the fact that they can watch us work out because we're realistically inspiring our children to exercise. They're seeing us prioritize our health at home. We're not just sitting on the couch watching Netflix. We're not just like, and not saying that people do. I know people get triggered about this Netflix stuff, but then it's just like, it's not just, you know, like real time. I like to work out at home, and I get it's not for everyone else, but you got the social anxiety of having to have an outfit. If you're that kind of person, me, I don't care. I'll wear a raggedy shirt into the gym. I'm just doing my workout. Half the time when I go to the gym, when I was going to the gym, I just put the headphones on, tune everybody out, and then set up my little station, and then I would go do it. And sometimes I like the gym because when you don't have the space, the room, and things like that. But I can tell you, if you're first starting out, you don't need all that stuff in the gym. You maybe need like a 20-pound dumbbell weight, right? You do some push-ups, some squats, until like I think that until you can do 50 push-ups, perfect, you shouldn't be trying to bulk up on weight. But everyone's different. Everyone's different. That's my own personal take on it. It's my controversial tip that I'll give you guys. But at the end of the day, after we have awareness, after you have acknowledgement, the next following thing that you need to have is just execute. You have it now. You know what days you have to go to the gym. You know why you're doing it. You know where you're going to go do it. And now all you got to do is execute it. Run the same play over and over and over and over and over again, right? And don't worry about being bored. You can't be bored with something that's new. If you were already in shape, like, and I get it. You can be bored. I don't want to speak generally like that. You can be bored with doing the same thing. But what's also boring to me, right? And everyone's different. What's boring to me is just sitting around doing nothing productive in your life. Like, I'm not saying to society and things like that. I'm saying that reading books, developing something, building something, working on your health, reading up on learning how to cook better, to save money, something, better yourself, enrich your life. And then after execution, the only thing left to do is to be consistent. Consistency is key, right? And then consistency doesn't always look like wash, rinse, and repeat. Consistency is although I couldn't get to the gym today, right? I am consistently somebody who is healthy and working on myself, that I'm going to go and do 20 squats and 10 push-ups and then go for a walk around the block. It's not much, but I'm being consistent towards my journey on becoming a healthier person. It doesn't have to be this whole high intensity interval training workout every time you do it. Being a healthy person is somebody who is always active. A lot of people like to act as if everything is what I'm looking for. Well, I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon, guys, because just so you know, I'm just only going to do this 30 minutes thing, but I'm going to try to go back on tomorrow, probably in the AM. But anyhow, what I was saying is not everything has to be this high intensity interval training thing. The most important thing that you need to do is that You need to have awareness, right? Why? What is it that you want? Be aware of it. Listen to yourself. Listen to your heart. Then you need to have acknowledgement. How can I be accountable for this thing that I want? How can I get there? What do I need to do to get the A to Z, right? Execution. Executing the plan that you develop from A to Z, but operating from a place of your why. When motivation, no one needs to be motivated. The only reason why people feel like motivation is key is because they don't understand that the most important thing that you need to do is be consistent, which is the last part. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for listening. Be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. I'll have a link below to where you can join my accountability group. And it's not on social media because one of the things that I think about social media is brilliant and it's great, but it is very time consuming, right? And it's a distraction most of the time unless you're operating on how to use it. So I'm starting to develop my platform to be off of social media, where it could be something that you can log into from via any device that you have, and you can get your workout. We can have live coaching calls. We're going to have monthly challenges inside of the program and the membership. So, and I just updated my business model. So I'm going to make it more accessible for everyone. And so I'm going to have a monthly, an annual, and a lifetime option. And that's it. At first I was selling like the mindset course and then the on-demand videos. You can either do monthly, pay for the year, or you can buy it forever. And I'm going to be uploading my platform for the rest of my life because this is what I love to do. And I love to help people get healthy, focus on their health, and grow strong. Well, guys, you guys have a good day. And thank you so much for tuning in.